All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are taking a deep dive into what is, without a doubt, one of the most crucial skills in the entire world of AI right now, prompt engineering. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see exactly why people are calling it the new coding.
And no, that's not just hype. This quote from IBM really nails a massive shift that's happening. We're moving away from having to write super complex code and moving towards having complex conversations with AI. But as you're about to see, the quality of that conversation dictates everything.
So let's get one thing straight right off the bat. You do not need to be a programmer to get amazing at this. At its heart, prompt engineering is really just the art of clear communication. It's all about crafting the right questions to get the best possible answers from an AI.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why this is so important. Then, we'll get into the how, the actual techniques you can start using today. And finally, we'll look at some cold hard proof of just how much of a difference a good prompt really makes. Okay, to really wrap your head around this, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you've just hired a new intern. But this isn't just any intern. They are brilliant. I mean, they've read every single book, every article, every website ever published. But, and this is a huge but, they have zero real-world context about you or what you need. So you give them what sounds like a super simple task. Make me a sandwich. Seems pretty straightforward, right? But just remember, this intern is incredibly smart, but also incredibly literal. They have no idea what you actually mean by a sandwich. And what happens? Well, without any more details, you're gonna get something completely useless. I mean, they might literally put two slices of bread on your head. And why? Well, because you didn't say what kind of sandwich, what ingredients to use, or that it should probably go on a plate. They just followed your vague instructions to the letter. And that, right there, that is the perfect metaphor for prompt engineering. It's about being a great manager for your brilliant but kind of clueless intern. You have to provide the clarity, the context, and the rules they need to turn all that knowledge into something genuinely useful.
Okay, so now we get the why. Let's dive into the how. We're going to build out our prompting playbook with 4 key techniques, and we'll start with the most basic and work our way up. First up, we have zero-shot prompting. This is probably what you're already doing without even thinking about it. You just ask a direct question, what's the capital of France? You're not giving it any clues or examples, you're just relying on what the AI already knows. It's great for quick, simple stuff. But what if you need the AI to respond in a very specific format or style? Well, that's where few-shot prompting becomes your best friend. This is where you give the AI a couple of examples of what you want. It's like you're saying, see this pattern? This is what I want. Now you do it. This helps the AI learn what you need right there in the moment. Okay, so take a look at this. This example makes it super clear. We show the AI that awesome means positive and awful means negative. So when we give it our new text, the movie was okay, it's already learned the pattern from our examples and knows to classify it as neutral. So simple, right? But man, is it powerful. All right, but what about the really tricky stuff like logic or math problems? This is where things get really cool. This technique is an absolute game changer. It's called chain of thought prompting. Instead of just asking for the final answer, you tell the AI to literally think step by step and show you its work. If you just ask this question straight up, an AI could easily mess this up. But by adding those magic words, think step by step, you force it to slow down and reason. It figures out, okay, first step, what's the age gap? It's 6 years. Then it applies that gap to the new age. It's a simple trick that makes the answers way more accurate. And for our last key technique, we've got role prompting. This one is fun, and it's all about telling the AI who it should be. By giving it a persona, like a historian, a chef, or an expert programmer, you're shaping the entire tone, style, and even the depth of its answer. Just check out this prompt. See, with this, you're not just going to get a boring list of museums. By asking the AI to act as a senior travel guide, you're way more likely to get a thoughtful itinerary, maybe one that considers travel times, logical routes between places, and even some insider tips. It totally elevates the quality of the response. All right, enough theory. Let's see the proof in action. We're going to look at a real-world coding example, where a tiny change in the prompt leads to a massive difference in the result. So on one side, you've got this super vague, kind of lazy prompt. Handle a list of numbers. Could mean literally anything. But on the other side, look at this. It's specific. It tells the AI the language, Python, the exact task, filter for even numbers, and even a constraint, Use list comprehension for efficiency. So what does that vague prompt get you? This, a clunky block of code that uses a for loop. The AI literally had to guess what you wanted. I mean, yeah, it technically works, but it's clunky and it's not very efficient. It's what a junior developer might write. But now, look at what that valuable prompt gives us. A perfect, clean, single line of code. It does the exact same thing, but it's elegant, it's efficient, it's what an experienced programmer would write. That's the aha moment right there. That is the difference between a frustrating tool and an absolute superpower. We've covered a ton of ground here, from our intern analogy to some pretty advanced techniques. But if you only walk away with one single thing today, please let it be this simple, powerful formula. It all boils down to this one golden rule: context, task, and constraint. First, give the AI the background information it needs to understand the world you're in. That's your context. Then, tell it exactly what you want it to do. That's the task. And finally, give it the rules or the format to follow. That's your constraint. If you can nail these three things, you will get fantastic results almost every time. So, there you have it. You've basically just gone through a crash course in how to actually talk to an AI. You have the playbook now. You know how to go from vague, frustrating answers to truly valuable results. So, the only question left is, what are you going to build?